Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk, a federal program provides financial assistance for people in prison to pursue a college education.
They're incredible students who just need the opportunity the way that students on the outside would.
The Second Chance Pell Grant program went into effect last year. Bloomington is planning changes to Indiana Avenue on the west side of campus, hoping to lower traffic accidents. But some residents say the road is good as is.
A lot of the traffic incidents that I'm familiar with are due to people who aren't paying attention.
And Indiana University trustees are meeting in Bloomington as protesters continue to call for President Pamela Whitten's resignation. We'll have these stories plus the latest news from across the state right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Well, it's been a rough past couple years for Indiana University President Pamela Whitten and the university. Ethan Sandwise has been following the story.
Hi, Joe. I'm outside Hankey Hall of Champions at the IU Memorial Stadium, where the IU Board of Trustees met today and Thursday to discuss policy with broad implications for Indiana University.
The times and locations of trustee meetings are planned 3 years in advance, but the gathering comes at a tumultuous time for IU's flagship campus. Bloomington faculty and many individual schools on campus have called on trustees to repeal bans for students and faculty arrested at protests, reverse unpopular changes to campus assembly policy, and remove President Pamela Whitten, who they selected 3 years ago.
You felt that she will help you accomplish your vision for IU. We're not here to discuss your vision. We're here to discuss something else. Whether we agree on your vision or not for the future of IU, today we are here to let you know that Pamela Whitten cannot accomplish anything for you or for IU.
Faculty say Whitten has eroded academic freedom and undermined shared governance for unpopular decisions targeting expression on campus. The trustees have since reaffirmed their support for Whitten and called for an independent inquiry into campus climate. The meeting overlaps with an occupation of Dunn Meadow by pro-Palestine protesters. The group of mainly students are demanding the trustees divest IU's endowment from Israel and end partnerships with the country, which they say is committing a genocide in Gaza. Some of the protesters rallied outside the trustee meeting at Memorial Stadium today, joined by graduate student workers demanding union recognition and faculty demanding Whitten's resignation. In addition to these campus-specific conflicts, trustees will also have to help IU become compliant with SEA 202, a new law that requires professors to promote, quote, intellectual diversity in the classroom or risk losing their jobs. President Whitten has spoken out against the bill and told faculty she hopes the university can remain compliant through its existing policies with minimal impact on professors.
We're joined again by Ethan from outside Memorial Stadium. Hi there, Ethan. So big news today. Whitten has announced the creation of a chancellor position in Bloomington. What does that mean?
That's a really good question, Joe. I think we're still figuring out what exactly that means. So the way that the chancellor position was described is it's going to be in the president's cabinet and above the provost, who's the current head of the Bloomington campus. So Whitten says that position is going to help faculty get more input in the way that campus is run. But it's still not exactly clear what the parameters of that job are or how that's going to affect the existing role of provost, which is basically responsible for those things officially already.
So, Ethan, trustees tabled two key policy issues this week. What were they and why did they not take action?
So The first one, of course, would be a speech and assembly policy for the university. This has been one of the most hot-button issues on IU's campus because, as a lot of our viewers are aware, Dunn Meadow on IU Bloomington's campus has been occupied for a really long time, and IU has tried to use existing policy, or what they thought was an existing policy, to justify a crackdown on Dunn Meadow. So the trustees discussed wanting to have a universal speech and assembly policy for all of the university campuses that might replace the Dunn Meadow one, but they tabled that vote and they're actually going to push it off, and they say they need more feedback from stakeholders, including students and faculty. The other one is changes to the faculty disciplinary policy, ACA 33. This is a policy that says that basically the university has to defer to faculty disciplinary policies that are campus specific if they're going to do any kind of major discipline of a faculty member. It sounds complicated, but the reason why this is important is because one faculty member at IU Bloomington, Abdul Qadir Sino, was suspended from teaching without a faculty misconduct review board first. Faculty say that bypassed shared governance.
Ethan, thank you so much for your reporting. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Well, Indiana ranks in the bottom half of all 50 states for child well-being, according to the National Kids Count Data Book. Indiana's 27th overall child well-being ranking is based on data across 4 areas: economic well-being, education, health, and family and community. Individually, the state came in 15th for economic well-being, 17th in education, 31st in family and community, and 32nd in health. For more on what these rankings mean, we're joined by Ashley Haynes, the Vice President of Data Communications for Indiana Youth Institute, the state affiliate for the Kids Count Network. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So Indiana's overall average is hurt by its rankings in family and community health categories. How does the state improve those numbers?
It's also important to look at Indiana's 2024 rankings in the National Indiana Kids Count Data Book in context. So NEKC Foundation looks at all 50 states across the country and then gives an idea of how children are doing in every single state. So Indiana's ranking is also in comparison to other states in the country. And in some cases, like in Indiana's family and community ranking, where we ranked 31st, all measures for those 4 indicators have actually gotten better. But our overall ranking of 31st hasn't changed in the past couple of years. And that could mean that other states have improved at a higher rate during the measured time period than Indiana. And looking at the data, children living in high poverty areas actually decreased from 10% to 7% between the measured time period, and there were fewer teen birth rates, all great movement in Indiana's data for kids.
So the state ranks 17th in the nation in education, despite some proficiency numbers still being down. Why is that?
Also, thinking in comparison, Indiana's kids may not have improved as well in education compared to other states in the country. Also, this is the first year that we're really starting to see some of those post-pandemic 2021, 2022 data points showing up in NEKC's data report. And we know that COVID wrought a lot of damage on the proficiency and impact of our kids in school. But alarm bells about student performance have been ringing for years before the pandemic. And we've known for a long time that we have to do better by our kids to make sure they're showing up equipped to learn, because a kid's academic success depends on so much more than what's happening in the classroom. It's what's happening at home. Are they getting enough sleep? But a really positive point in our education data is that the graduating class of 2023, actually 88.9% of them graduated from high school, which is the highest graduation rate that we've seen since 2016. Third highest since IYI has been tracking that data point, and good news for our oldest learners.
So the state's doing best, though, in the economic well-being category. What does that measure?
So Indiana has significant opportunities and challenges ahead in supporting the well-being of kids across all the different categories, but we do need to celebrate the progress that we're making as a state, and particularly in the economic well-being areas, such as parental employment rates and housing affordability, where between 2019 and 2022, 75% of Indiana parents had full-time secure employment, which is higher than the national average and higher than our neighboring states like Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, and Ohio. And in 2002, only 22% of Indiana's kids lived in households that were facing high housing cost burdens, where their spending was 30% more than their income on housing expense. And that's compared to 30% nationally. So there are a lot of positive spots in the data around economic well-being.
Well, Ashley, we're out of time. Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
All right, now for headlines from around the area. The Monroe Convention Center expansion is moving east. The Capital Improvement Board approved the recommendation from a site selection working group on Wednesday. The location was one of 3 remaining options. The south and west options had more upfront costs, grade change challenges, and utility issues. The east option sits next to the Transportation Center, is closer to the university, and allows the existing convention center to operate while the expansion is under construction. It also has the 4th Street parking garage to the north. The CIB also approved a recommendation to select Weddle Brothers as the construction manager for the project. The City of Bloomington wants to put a project to alter the Indiana Avenue corridor out for bid in 2025. Officials hosted the first of 3 listening sessions this week. The city's goal is to eliminate all fatal and severe traffic injuries by 2039.
I think it's really important to make sure to prioritize the safety of people rather than the speed of cars and traffic flow.
Now, one attendee to Tuesday's meeting drives Indiana Avenue on a regular basis. He worries the city will make changes that just make it harder to drive.
A lot of the traffic incidents that I'm familiar with are due to people who aren't paying attention, or pedestrians or bicyclists who aren't paying attention, or who don't obey the rules.
There have been 9 fatal or serious injury crashes on the Indiana Avenue corridor since 2018, and all involved at least 1 driver. Bloomington's Simtra Biopharma campus on the west side is expanding. Officials broke ground this week on a 2-story, 150,000 square foot building that will allow for 3 new production lines. Katie Spack has this story.
Simtra is a specialized pharmaceutical and biomedical manufacturing company. They focus on the production of sterile injectables such as vials and syringes. Officials say the new building will cost more than $250 million and create hundreds of new jobs in Bloomington.
The capacity will essentially double, and then it's newer technology, so better technology, just up to date, which is better from a regulatory standpoint, also better from a productivity standpoint.
Governor Eric Holcomb also attended Tuesday's groundbreaking. He praised Simtra for the work and experience it brings to the state.
These are the jobs of the future when you talk about providing therapies, providing the client or the customer with quality of life improvements, and that's what they do here at Simtra.
Simtra became a standalone company from Baxter International in October last year. Simtra has 2 manufacturing facilities, the other is in Germany. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Katie Spack.
Monroe County Commissioners say Sheriff Ruben Marte and the County Council must choose the size and bed count of a new county jail. That caught council members off guard.
I don't think I was the only person surprised to hear that the council was supposed to be working on establishing a bed count.
A county attorney says the commissioners are tasked with providing a jail, but aren't statutorily obligated to determine its size or bed count. And Wilt says she questions how the council would make this decision.
We have not been allowed access to directly meet with the consultants that the commissioners have been using. So that seems to be a disadvantage.
A recent feasibility study says the jail would need between 450 and 500 beds. The council passed a resolution last year saying the jail should have no more than 400 beds. The Indiana Department of Transportation won budgetary approval to pour $256 million into Welcome Center rest areas and truck parking at 6 highway locations around the state. INDOT officials say about a third of the cost will go toward pavement needed to sustain semi-parking. Truckers have long argued there's not enough truck parking at rest stops, leaving commercial drivers to park their 18-wheelers along the side of the highway.
And there's a lot of site amenities that we have as well. Sure. Right, because we are trying to turn these into destinations.
It's all part of INDOT's 13-year plan to replace 16 of the state's existing 27 rest areas and add nearly 1,000 parking spots. Most of the rest stops in the state date back to the 1960s. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. A federal program is providing Pell Grant money for inmates to pursue a college degree while in prison. And a familiar old Indiana University scoreboard finds a new home at a downtown Bloomington bar. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
I hear the echoes all through the meadows. Breathe in and let go. That sweet surrender. I've been running all through the night. You can knock me down, but I've got my will to survive. Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Together, we can make real change happen.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. The Bloomington City Council is calling for protections for individuals seeking gender-affirming care. Council members passed a resolution Wednesday night declaring the city a safe haven for individuals seeking such care. Lucas Gonzalez reports.
The Bloomington City Council is calling for protections for individuals seeking gender-affirming care. Council members passed a resolution Wednesday declaring the city a safe haven for individuals seeking such care. The resolution comes amid a new state law banning gender-affirming care for Hoosiers younger than 18.
Access to gender-affirming care can literally be life-saving. Our children, all children, deserve a place to feel safe.
The measure adopts a gender-affirming healthcare policy for the city, but since the resolution is non-binding, anything within it cannot be enforced. The resolution passed unanimously, even though 2 council members initially said they'd abstain from voting on it.
With respect to gender-affirming care, children lack the cognitive development to understand the implications of potential sterility.
Rollo and Councilmember Andy Ruff both said they wanted more time to conduct research before voting. Councilmember Hopi Stasberg says she disagrees with any insinuation that parents can't make good decisions for their children.
As a parent of teenagers, it's incredibly personally offensive, and it's just reminding me of all the other ways that parents have been attacked over the years.
The resolution now needs final approval from Mayor Carrie Thompson, who says she supports it. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Lucas Gonzalez.
Many low-income students can't go to college without financial aid. And for students in Indiana's prisons, that funding is even more important. And for the first time in 3 decades, prison education programs will receive federal financial aid. As Aubrey Wright reports, college officials and correctional professionals are optimistic as they work to get their programs approved.
In May 2022, Miles Folsom became valedictorian of his class at Holy Cross College. His speech was about willpower, and he began it with an acknowledgement.
I decided to accept it on behalf of everyone else who ever thought that the door was shut and there was not a way out.
Now he's CEO of Invested Youth, a speakers bureau he helped create for people who've been incarcerated. He's a legal consultant for a charity, helping people create better defenses. He also works in carpentry, and he's looking for an architect to build the world's most humane prison.
I do think back on my prison experience, my Holy Cross experience, the World College Initiative, all the volunteer work I've done. And to be honest, I mean, it's uncanny. I really don't. It's almost like I'm talking about someone else's life.
Folsom was incarcerated as a teenager. His journey began with self-education, reading every book he could find, and keeping his father's words in mind. You have to go to college. And 8 years into his incarceration, he did that with the University of Notre Dame and Holy Cross College. Those classes were possible through the Second Chance Pell experiment, new funding given to a select group of prison education programs.
That was the beginning of a 4 or 5 year just uphill climb. It was phenomenal.
Students in prison earned Pell Grants, the same need-based financial aid as unincarcerated students. That Second Chance Pell experiment was successful. In 2020, Congress voted to reinstate Pell Grant use for incarcerated students for the first time since 1994. It went into effect last summer. That was great news for Justin McDevitt, who works with Notre Dame's Programs for Education in Prison. It's part of Notre Dame's Center for Social Concerns.
My favorite door is on here because it's on the door of my office at Notre Dame.
His office on Marian University's campus is lined with photos of doors, and they give perspective on his work. Some people see doors as opportunities, and others, who spend their time locked behind doors, see them as obstacles. With Notre Dame, Marian University, and Indiana's Women's Prison, McDevitt directs the Women's College Partnership.
They're incredible students who just need the opportunity the way that students on the outside would.
Notre Dame works with Marian University for women's programs. It also works with Holy Cross for men's programs at Westville Correctional Facility. Students pursue liberal arts, associate, and bachelor's degrees full-time. McDevitt and others with Notre Dame's prison education programs try to create a college campus within the constraints of a prison.
So imagine having an entire college, but with 40 students in 2 classrooms over the course of the week.
It's a co-curricular space, and they give students similar experiences, choices, and resources to those at other college campuses. There are fewer options than larger colleges, but students can make the most of their free college experience.
The program was given a whole floor of a building, and that was very important because it was like a sanctuary.
In the men's program, Folsom says students walked around and talked with fellow students freely. There were libraries, classrooms, a computer lab.
I couldn't have asked for probably a better setting.
In Indianapolis, the Department of Corrections and the Commission for Higher Education collaborate to review these programs for Pell funding.
And that's kind of our role, is to say, is this sustainable inside of our facilities? Is it in the best interest of the student?
And then the U.S. Department of Education must approve the prison education programs. Established programs like those at Notre Dame, Marian, and Holy Cross are prepared for the funding application because they've been putting in the work for years.
I've been able to see kind of what it takes and how these things grow. So it will be a slow, deliberate, careful process.
And this funding will support more than just students. McDevitt says it will also support faculty and staff who teach in prisons.
It really is the only way that programs like this can be sustainable long term.
To receive Pell funding, education programs must offer career development and re-entry support. Mather says the state is looking to approve high-quality programs that will benefit students and their communities.
These folks are going to be returning citizens. They're going to come back in our communities. They're going to be your neighbors. They're going to shop at the same places that you shop. Their kids are going to go to school with your kids.
Advocates such as Folsom say education is one of the most effective interventions to prevent people from reoffending. And Folsom says feeling angry at and chasing revenge against often traumatized people in prisons prevents rehabilitation.
It is us who are holding us back. And I think the way forward is education. We must educate these people so that they can help themselves.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
And a scoreboard longtime Indiana University basketball fans will recognize is getting back in the game. For decades, the scoreboard has served IU in different arenas. As Pat Bean reports, it'll now hang in a bar on Kirkwood Avenue.
Before the massive scoreboard that looms over center court at Simon Scott Assembly Hall was installed, 2 simpler versions hung above each end of the court. Beginning their life in the IU Fieldhouse in the 1960s, They moved to Assembly Hall when it opened in 1973 and ended up hanging in Mellencamp Pavilion into the 2000s. Finally, in August of 2020, IU auctioned the scoreboards off. Steve Engel knew he wanted one.
I didn't know how we were going to move it. I didn't know where it was going to go. I just knew we had a scoreboard, and sooner or later we'd figure out something to do with it.
Engel says he paid a little more than $9,000 for one scoreboard. It's 18 feet long and weighs 800 pounds. In the reconstruction at the upstairs pub, they had to raise the height of the roof by 6 feet to accommodate the scoreboard. Crews used a crane to hoist the scoreboard over the building and into a hole in the roof in what will be the west bar. The scoreboard is not the only IU artifact going above the new bar. When IU sold off sections of the basketball court used from 1928 to 1960, Engel grabbed 6 of them. He's having 3 sections installed on both sides of the scoreboard.
So you're going to have about 8 feet of basketball floor, this 18-foot scoreboard, and then another 8 feet of old IU basketball floor on the wall back behind the bar.
Engel says the project is scheduled to be finished sometime in late August.
I think that this is a neat IU artifact that belongs on Kirkwood.
For Indiana Newsdesk, with videographer Max Reboletto, I'm Pat Bean.
That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.